Spam Spaz in the chat said, did they talk about Dashcon yet? Was there a promise we would talk about Dashcon?
Yeah, I promised you on my Twitter, sorry.
Yeah, I read about Dashcon. I heard it was a big, giant, stinking pile of poo-poo.
I've never heard of this con. What does that mean?
They did a convention. It was a convention that was based around Tumblr.
Yeah, it was like TumblrCon.
And it was...
Where's the dash come from?
Well,
your dashboard is what you're...
They were gonna call it. They were gonna call it TumblrCon, but then they weren't officially affiliated with Tumblr, so they had to change the name. So they called it Dashcon.
I don't think that was a gymnastics convention, so I'd be confused if it was TumblrCon.
Hey, all right. All I'm gonna say is, if you haven't read about Dashcon and the events that transpired there, check it out. Interesting story.
I'm gonna check it out. I have no idea.
I feel like I don't want to read that.
It was a giant fucking mess.
Yeah, it was kickstarted, right?
A lot of people pissed off at each other.
Here's what I remember happening. The hotel it's such a fucking mess. Where do I even begin? The organizers of the event told everybody on site we're $17,000 short of being able to afford the venue, so we need to come up with that tonight.
Yeah, well, I think it was originally... Wasn't the event actually kickstarted in the beginning?
It was kickstarted. It was a kickstarted event, and they met their goal on Kickstarter, but for whatever reason, when everybody showed up to attend the event, they said we're $17K short. Then they got out a bag.
No.
They got out a bag, and they started walking through the attendees, of which they only had about 1,000 attendees. And they actually raised the $17,000 on site. But people were talking about, like, I just threw all my money into a bag, and I don't know if they really used it to get the venue. There's all these suspicions about, what they did and didn't get. They did not pay, for like their they had special guests that they didn't pay and didn't put up in any accommodations. Real quick, I'll just say they invited guests to come to the convention, but didn't get them any hotels, didn't book anything for them. So these guests were just stranded with nothing to do.
I tell you what you do. You fucking turn around and go home.
They raised an amount for a band to play, and the band never came.
And the band never played. They told people, thanks, because you had to deal with all this, we're going to give extra... Oh, because this band isn't playing, and that was a major attraction to this convention, as a compensation, we're going to give everybody who wanted to go to that concert an extra hour in the ball pit. And the ball pit...
What's the ball pit?
It was like a 6-foot by 6-foot blow-up kiddie pool that was filled with balls. It was a ball pit.
Hey, do you know what band was supposed to play?
What?
Steam Powered Giraffe.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's Steam Powered Giraffe. It's
that was the one that canceled?
Yep.
I thought it was...
No, they canceled. What was the other one?
What are the words?
Because I
heard it was there was one that was like a big goal in their thing, and they didn't.
It's okay. Weekend passes were $80.
Steam Powered
$80.
Well, in addition to the $17,000 he had to raise to get in the door.
Oh no!
I don't have all the details. I didn't go to Dashcon, but hey,
just go on Tumblr and search Dashcon. I
look it up. Look up anything you can on Dashcon. It's a great story. Somebody even made a Dashcon simulator that I think they released on Steam.
I saw a meme about the ball pit. Did someone shit in the ball pit?
No. That image of the sad-looking ball pit has become a famous
that's
image.
become what
it's been on.
I think at one point the ball pit got deflated, so you couldn't even go in the ball pit. They had a bounce house too.
Well, that sounds like a fun.
That's worth.
Well, it's children who don't go outside running a convention.
But I heard SGC was unorganized, Eric.
Jeez.
Wow.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know. That reaffirms my thoughts on Tumblr and Kickstarter.
Which are?
I don't really care about either.
I don't think that has anything to do with Kickstarter, though. Does it? I think it has to do with those shitty people.
True.
Kickstarter didn't fuck anybody.
I personally don't like Kickstarter. I've never funded Kickstarter stuff.
But I think that's completely dependent on who's asking for it. Why would you donate money to someone who had not a reliable track record?
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I think, like, you don't know that they're going to reach their goal.
Yeah.
And you're going to get
and never
your
deliver,
product.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
A lot of fucking Kickstarters happen. The people who are starting it have no fucking experience doing anything business-wise. Mm-hmm. Then everything falls to shit, and you're out of however much money you donated. I've never personally taken that gamble with my cash.
Yeah.
I agree.
But if you find someone who can successfully do it, then it can get done. I do see your point where it is a good thing.
Isn't it crazy going to stuff like EXPCon and seeing how well done that was and how much fun we had, and then like hearing about this other convention, it's like, oh, it's fucked.
And that's where I kind of feel like, hey, if you if you have the drive and the resource to like do something big, I don't know if you need to kickstart it. Maybe I don't know. EXPCon wasn't kickstarted, right?
I think it was around before Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any overlapping there with the Venn diagram. There's two separate things.
Well, you know what? I think Kickstarter's great, but some people use it as, you know, an alternative to being smart.
Or to having
Or-
getting a job.
Well, you know, like if you're smart, you can do an event like that and kind of figure out a way to pull it off without having all the money up front.
Yeah.
Or you can just get all the money up front and not think, you know?
Well, the whole point of like when we did our videos about Kickstarter like last year was Kickstarter is stupid when it's presented under the context of I don't know how to do this, but once we have the funding, we're
absolutely
gonna figure
right.
it out.
Oh, exactly. It's an
100%
alternative to being smart.
correct.
Yeah, exactly. So in that context,
I mean, I look at stuff that Rooster Teeth has done with their Indiegogo or whatever,
yeah.
and they raised like over $2 million or something.
Well, that's a company who knows what they're doing.
Exactly, and that's good for them because they're going to make something that people are already kind of excited about, and now they're making something that's even bigger that a bunch of people were really excited about to begin with. I think that there are definitely ways that Kickstarter works and everything, but I think that what sullies it are people that just do stupid shit on Kickstarter, and that's the stuff that you read in the news more often than anything else.
Yeah. True.
I want to do a prequel to Equilibrium, and it explains the backstory of Gun Kata.
Yeah?
yeah, I think we need that.
I'm going to kickstart it. I'm not even going to write it. Just give me the money, and I'll make it.
Is it a prequel where the bullets go straight?
No.
You're thinking of wanted.
Oh, fuck.
The bullets
That's
are all
McAvoy.
The bullets are all kooky.
Well, people are bringing up the potato salad Kickstarter, where a guy tried to set up a Kickstarter for $10 to make potato salad.
Yeah.
And it became a big joke, and he got like 35,000 or something like that. But it's like, okay, tons of people attacking Kickstarter. Kickstarter didn't do it. Attacking the guy, he didn't ask for 35,000. It's like, where do you put? I know that sounds. I know it's shitty because
The
why did I
The
get
blame
it?
is squarely on the people who donated money.
My faith
Yeah.
in the human race, I guess, is where I need to transpose my.
But
aggression.
when people were shitting on the dude who set it up, it's
Nope,
like
fuck him.
he didn't donate.
Hey,
to
that guy
himself.
should come out
you
and
know
say,
what?
fuck you.
Hey, that's a situation of people being upset that they didn't get $35,000.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%
absolutely.
right.
That's like, fuck that guy who won the lottery. Fucking lottery. It's like, you're just upset that you didn't get it.
Yep. That to me is the same thing as the Star Wars, the Death Star petition that's on the White House website. It's the same. None of you are funny. Go away.
That's actually something way worse.
I agree. That
What? I don't know about that.
They, a few years ago, petitioned the White House to build a Death Star, and I think at the time, you only need like 50,000 signatures?
Something like
I
that.
thought it was 10,000.
What, 10,000 signatures or something? At the time, you needed a certain amount of signatures before the White House would officially respond
They would have to respond to
whatever your petition was.
Why don't they just officially respond and say "fuck off"?
Well,
you
here's what they did.
dumbass?
Here's what they did. Everybody petitioned to get a Death Star built, so the White House said, we're not going to build a Death Star. We will increase the number of signatures required for us to officially respond to a petition. Therefore making it fucking harder to improve anything in this country.
You guys ruined it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the same shit that you see in presidential debates where they go like, hey, now boxers or briefs. You're running for commander-in-chief of one of the most powerful countries in the entire world.
And they're throwing
I don't
softballs.
have time for kitschy bullshit. I'd love to know
Yeah.
where you stand on foreign policy
Yeah.
and
Can you let me know what you're going to do with?
spending.
Can you let me know what you're going to do with the nuclear codes? After you tell me what
I keep them in my briefs.
Nuclear codes, so important. That's probably how he responded.
Yeah, much devastation. So nuclear. Wow.
Do you remember when
I actually do like that one.
in 2008 there
Yeah.
was that one? Who was the one guy who was running for president on the Republican side, and he used Chuck Norris in his ads? What was his name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who? What?
There
Someone
was
used-
one oh what was the name of the? I hope somebody in the chat
Dukakis.
But a guy, and he was like, his big campaign was like, I got Chuck. It was at the height of all the Chuck Norris shit.
He's like, I got a fucking meme.
And he
Mike Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee, yep.
Oh.
And in all his like presidential ads, oh well, Chuck Norris is telling you how it's gonna be. There isn't a chin under his beard; it's just another fist, and he votes for me, Mike
Cool.
Huckabee. And it was like,
I'm so
cool.
glad that guy didn't become president.
Was there
Yeah.
backlash against him for that?
Well,
It
yeah,
was
he didn't
just
become
like,
president.
Yeah,
what a
well,
waste of fucking
It
time.
was Mike
you know?
Huckabee. I loved in this new kind of like social media aware and internet savvy time. Like, who was the presidential candidate that we're gonna go to Seattle, we're gonna take them all the votes,
Hardeen.
then we're gonna go to the White House.
Hardeen.
Yeah! And he made that noise, and that, what was his name?
Hardeen.
Howard Dean. If you fuck up once, if you do one little thing like that, it's over.
You like that?
What?
You just said that
no.
you like that.
I think it's interesting. I don't know who in their right fucking mind would ever run, because
Well, you know what?
One
Like,
little fucking dumb mistake, like his voice crackled.
What a
Yeah, but
pain
if
in
you
the
don't,
ass.
if you're the
What a
one person
pain
who
in the
doesn't make
ass.
that mistake, you're the president of the
yeah,
United
exactly.
States.
That's what it's all about. I don't trust a guy who's gonna get that fucking riled up about.
I don't trust a guy who smokes. How about that?
Yeah, that's why you never see presidential candidates smoking.
President Obama's a smoker.
I'm not really concerned about what the president's going to do about Ukraine shooting down Asian aircrafts, but I kind of want a president that I could have a beer with.
Yo!